Look at the 2015 Hyundai Sonata. I'm going to check my facts on that before I continue. It is a Hyundai Sonata SE. Before we get started, I just want to open it up and get the lights going so that I can see what it looks like with lights. It's a very basic car, but I'll have a full review up later. Let's see. Drop this window just in case. There's your signal. Headlights. Has daytime running lights. I'm not sure if this bar down here, I mean I can see a light there, but I'm not sure if that's what they consider daytime running lights. Let's go ahead and flip them on and see what it says. Those may only come on when it's in gear too. So these lights are on. So that may be what they're referring to. We'll just take a first look today. I'm going to drive it for a little bit, maybe a week, and we'll come up with a little review here soon. I'm not majorly impressed. Initial impression. Let's have a button here. Do I need the key? I don't feel a button. Funny enough, I feel an area for a backup camera, but there is no backup camera. So that's funny. So that's the 2015 Hyundai Sonata. It's a pretty basic car. If I can figure out where the trunk release is. There we go. Pretty decent sized trunk considering. It's a really basic car. To be honest, I feel like the crappy, because I gave it a horrible rating, but it was still a decent car. The Nissan Altima seems to be just a little bit better. I definitely liked it a little better than I do this. Not the best car in the world, but it will get me back and forth this week. I did get it for free this week because of reward points from all the other cars that I have been renting. So that's a good thing. Stereo is real basic. It does have satellite though, so that's a good thing. You got your manual air controls, which I haven't really messed with just yet. Then you've got steering wheel controls. It's got like a little LED or LCD right here in the middle, which you can configure different things. Really haven't went through it yet. Basic shifting, not really any kind of, I don't know, there's a drive mode button. What does that do? You can change it to Eco, Sport. Okay, cool. I'll probably be driving it in Sport. It does have a manual mirror, so nothing really nothing to be desired in this car. Nothing that I would completely go crazy over. Just trying to get to know it a little bit before I drive it. And I believe I haven't really tried the wipers, not that I need to, but yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm sure I'll look real funny driving this little thing around, but the inside is unimpressive. Seats are cloth. I mean, not much you could expect from a $20,000 car, but the outside, it looks pretty nice. So that kind of has me, you know, that was kind of why I grabbed it today. This is the key, but it doesn't have a push button start. You have to flick the key out to do that in order to drive. But there's the key. So anyway, there's my first look at the 2015 Hyundai Sonata. And I will definitely have a more in-depth review up toward the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. See you guys later. So I wanted to come on and tell you guys about the Hyundai Sonata. I didn't actually get a chance to make a review of this video because was I busy? I wasn't busy. I didn't like it, and I took it back before the week was up. So I didn't like it. So just to kind of give you a basic rundown, the base price for that car is $23,000, which I think is kind of high for what you're getting. Really basic car, really basic everything, and it drove really bad. When you're driving down the road, maybe interstate or just the highway, it feels like you're flying and you're like, oh my gosh, I better slow down, I'm going to get a ticket. And you look down and you're going 10 under. And it's like, oh, I'm not really going that fast. Overall, I didn't like the car. The things I did like is about the little screen. I did figure out how to pull up a speedometer on that. I like a digital speedometer way better than anything else, so that's just me. But you know, just overall, I didn't like the car. I think it was worse than the Chevrolet Captiva, and I gave that the worst car of the year award. Of course, now we're in 2015, so I guess the Hyundai Sonata gets the 2015 worst car of the year award. So I went and traded it for a 2014 Chevrolet Malibu. I know it's a year old, it's near the end of its life and all that, but I just wanted something nice. And I didn't want another Altima, and I looked around everywhere today, and the only thing I could find was a Chevrolet Impala, which I wanted. I wanted the Impala. And apparently this year they've decided to work out a little scam to make more money, so they upgraded the Impala to a premium car instead of a full-size car. So now you got to pay the premium car price if you want an Impala, which is like $100 a week more. It's really up there. And then they offered me like a Ford Mustang, but they wanted $170 a week more on that one. And I was like, yeah, you're smart. You're great. No thanks. So anyway, I did end up getting a car without screwing up my price with the Chevrolet Malibu. So far I'm liking it, and I'll have a first look and review up later about it. I'll actually go in depth with it. But as far as the Hyundai Sonata goes, I couldn't be asked to make a review. And what time I had it, all I could think about was getting rid of it. The only plus side about the car that I could say was the gas mileage. It did really well with gas. I picked it up on 3/8 of a tank, I think, and I returned it on 1/8, and I put over 100 miles on it within that time. So I was pretty impressed with the gas mileage. But anyway, I did trade the car out today. So just kind of to cap and give a little end. As far as outside appearance for the car, I like the outside look, and that's the main reason I went and picked it up the day that I did. So I'm going to give that like an 8 because the outside appearance looked great. Inside the car, 2 because it was horrible. I mean, there was nothing impressive there. There was no reason for me to want to get in it. And the overall driving was a 2 because it was a horrible experience. It wasn't comfortable to drive. It wasn't, it was just a cheap car. For this car, I could see a price point of $15,000 for a brand new car. This is a budget car. Unfortunately, the manufacturer starts at $23,000, and they're just pocketing that profit. So I wouldn't buy a Hyundai if I had to. Wouldn't want it. So overall, I give this car a 1 out of 10 because I hated it. It was the worst car I've driven this year. And it wins the worst car of the year award. And that's what I love about my videos, because I am not paid by anyone to do this. Except for, you know, I guess YouTube pays me with ad money. But I'm not sponsored. I'm not given these cars. If I want to review a car, I have to go pay for it. I have to pay out of my pocket to get the car and drive it and review it. It's all up to me. And I'm not sponsored. I'm not given cars to review for free, and I'm not backed by any of the car manufacturers, which is great. It works out great for me because I can give you guys an honest review. And I don't have to lie and be, oh, this car's great, go get one. No. I can be honest with you. I hated it, and I will never buy a Hyundai. Piece of crap. And I'll never get sponsored by Hyundai now. But hey, you know what? I would like to be sponsored by someone who I actually like. Maybe Ford, maybe Mopar. I'll take anything you guys got. Anyway, I made this little clip while I was driving the car to return it. I wasn't going to include it in the video, but why not? It kind of just basically says the same thing I just said, only I left a few things out in the video. That's why I wanted to remake it here. So just in case there's anything I forgot in this clip, I will put the next clip of me driving the car and returning it and my little thoughts in that video. So see you guys later. Hey guys, I am driving the 2015 Hyundai Sonata, and I'm on my way to go pick up a new car because I just really didn't like this one, and I didn't want to waste my money on a full week of this car. So I am on my way to get something else, and I'll do a review about it as well, obviously, but I figured I might as well come on today and give you my final review of the 2015 Hyundai Sonata, and just kind of give you my impressions of it, and then we'll move on. So obviously it wasn't my favorite car that I've driven. This was one of my least favorite cars that I have driven. This car is something that you buy when you're on a budget and you need good gas mileage, because that's pretty much the one thing that it succeeded at. Gas mileage is insane, and so is speeding. I think it's getting about 32 miles per gallon on how I drive, and you guys know how I drive, so that's a big deal. It's not really feature rich at all. There's not anything on this car that makes me go wow, and that's disappointing. I like cars that make me go wow, you know. I like cars that have a few things on them that aren't, you know, nowadays is considered standard. I mean, really, it should be anyway. There's a Mustang. By the way, they did offer me a Mustang, and they wanted a lot more money than I was willing to pay for it, so we're not getting a Mustang. So anyway, the Impala, nope, not the Impala, the what is this thing called? Sonata. I'll figure it out in a minute, I promise. The Sonata's really not that great. It's just a budget car. If you're trying to save some money, this is the car you're going to buy. And it's sad because this is a standard. This is, I don't know what standard it is, but it's a standard. And people are actually buying these. And that's cool if that's what you're after, but I am the kind of person where I want to enjoy my vehicle. Oh, my window's fogging up. I want to enjoy my vehicle. I want to like driving it. I want to enjoy going somewhere. You know, whenever the urge hits me, I want to go get in the car and I want to go somewhere, and I want to have fun while doing it. I want to be decked out with leather seats and just little knickknacks and features. Those are good things to have. So, in all honesty, I'm trading this car in. Probably sacrificing satellite radio because, you know, it's the vehicle that I'm trading for is a 2014. It likely doesn't have satellite radio still. So, you know, there's several factors that you're having to consider when you go trade mid-term, because you know it's not been a full week yet. I like to do my vehicles for at least a week before I throw a review up about them, and this one just didn't make it. It just didn't cut it for me. But hopefully we're going to get a 2014 Chevrolet Malibu, and it is the LTZ, I'm told. So that'll be cool. So we'll go do that, and hopefully we'll have a decent car to drive this week and next week, because I've already made plans to extend it. So that's kind of my short but to the point review of the Hyundai Sonata. I wouldn't buy it. This is the idea rental car. This is the car that you would rent, and I don't particularly like it. So anyway, I'm going to turn this video off so I can resume my directions so that I know where to go. So I'll see you guys later.